How much does enclomiphene raise testosterone? So, if you think of enclomiphene, you want to think of your brain restarting your testosterone production, even without an injection. And so what if I told you there's a compound that can nearly double your testosterone, not by injecting a synthetic hormone, not by suppressing your own production, but by flipping the switch in your brain that tells your body to make more of its own. That's what we're going to talk about today. This molecule is called enclomiphene. It's a SERM, a selective estrogen receptor modulator, and it is fascinating. So I'm Regan Archibald. I'm the founder of Ageless Future. I love peptides because I find they create leverage in your health so that even if you're somebody who's struggling with inflammation, with pain, with brain fog, there's natural molecules that your body makes called peptides that can turn on the signaling that you've been missing. So let's talk about enclomiphene, because how many of you are on testosterone and you love the benefits and you love it for maybe a year or 3 years, and then suddenly you start noticing you're growing man boobs and you just can't seem to keep it regulated. Every time you get your blood work done, you're worried about hematocrit being so high and your blood getting sticky and having a stroke, and then you're injecting and the injections hurt and you just don't know what to do. Well, today I'm going to show you how enclomiphene, it can raise testosterone. I'll show you what the clinical data actually shows and why this compound might be the most elegant hormone optimization tool available today. Because if you think about it, 1 in 4 men over 30 has clinically low testosterone. Now, here's the reality: this is millions of men walking around with testosterone levels under 350 nanograms per deciliter. What this results in is men are tired, they're foggy, they're struggling to maintain muscle, they're losing motivation, they're watching their libido just disappear. And the standard answer has been like, you just need testosterone, get on TRT. And there's testosterone clinics everywhere. And not all are created equal. This testosterone replacement therapy, what it is when you take synthetic testosterone, usually testosterone cypionate or propionate, and you inject it into your muscle, and you do that once or twice a week. Then your body has testosterone, but it sends a signal from your testes to the brain that you've already got enough testosterone. And so your testes stop producing testosterone on their own. And you'll see the markers called FH and LSH, and those will be virtually zero. And that means your balls are shrinking, dudes. Maybe you don't mind that. It's usually not a big deal. You have less to sit on. But the problem is now you're dependent on something external for the rest of your life. But if you've been on testosterone and you want to try something more natural and get your body to produce testosterone on its own, then enclomiphene has been incredibly helpful for our clients who've wanted to do that very thing. So you have this condition called testicular atrophy. Your fertility is gone when you're on testosterone. The HPG axis, or your hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, completely shuts down. And so this is a problem, because if you're going to work with us, we want you to have lots of babies. And this is really important because if you're pumping your body full of testosterone, you're not going to have the sperm count. So it turns off what's called spermatogenesis. And so enclomiphene may be one of the best solutions that we've ever seen to restoring sperm count, restoring testosterone, because testosterone helps you hold on to muscle. It protects your brain, it protects your heart. Having low testosterone is absolutely more dangerous than being on testosterone. But if you look and you say, well, I want to be able to produce testosterone and I want to have the ability to procreate, well, think enclomiphene. So enclomiphene is a selective estrogen receptor modulator. It's a SERM. And what that means is your brain, specifically in the hypothalamus, has estrogen receptors. And normally estrogen coming off testosterone binds to these receptors and tells your brain, hey, I've got enough T, slow down production. But in enclomiphene, it blocks those receptors. It removes the negative feedback. So your hypothalamus looks around and says, wait, where's the signal? We need more testosterone. It fires luteinizing hormone, follicular stimulating hormone, and signals the hormones down to the testes, and your testes respond by producing more testosterone, your own. So you know that saying, it's best to get high on your own supply. This is what you're doing. This is your biology doing exactly what it's designed to do. So can it really work? And does it have the same robustness as testosterone? Well, in a 2013 clinical study, men with testosterone below 350 nanograms per deciliter were given enclomiphene, and their average testosterone jumped to 604 nanograms per deciliter. That's nearly a doubling, not from synthetic hormones, from their own testes stimulated by their brain. Another study in 2015, this was a phase 2b clinical trial, 124 men, all with testosterone below 250 nanograms per deciliter. These pretty sick men. They were randomized to either 12.5 milligrams of enclomiphene daily or 25 milligrams of enclomiphene. Some received testosterone gel, or the other group received placebo. Within 4 weeks, the enclomiphene groups stabilized testosterone above 400 nanograms per deciliter. Once again, almost a doubling from where they started. All were below, roughly in the 200s. And it held there for a full 16 weeks of the study. Here's the critical difference. Men on enclomiphene maintain their LH and FSH and spermatogenesis. That's the ability to form new sperm. For men on TRT gel, their luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone dropped to near zero. Their reproductive axis was suppressed. And in 2025, a meta-analysis out of the Federal University of Santa Catarina, what they published in the Archives of Endocrinology and Metabolism, they found in these randomized control trials with 819 patients, SERM therapy, remember, enclomiphene is a SERM, increased total testosterone by a mean value of 273.76 nanograms per deciliter. That much more compared to placebo. Placebo was less than 0.1. And sperm concentration? Well, better than the testosterone gel group. The science is not ambiguous here. One important note is the enclomiphene is not FDA approved for male hypogonadism. The FDA rejected the NDA back in 2015, or the new drug approval, but it is available as a compounded medication through 503A pharmacies with valid prescription from licensed medical providers. And that matters because where it comes from determines the outcome you're going to get, because it's actually needs to be compounded in a proper way. So if you think of low testosterone, like why is it such a big deal? Well, low testosterone equals higher all-cause mortality. And testosterone is not just about libido or muscle. It's a survival hormone. It makes effort feel good. Low testosterone is correlated to all-cause mortality from cardiovascular events, cognitive decline, metabolic syndrome. It's not just fringe science. This is peer-reviewed literature, and the way you want to address it matters, because TRT, it gives you the hormone without the signaling. And without the signaling, now your body stops producing it. And in enclomiphene, it maintains and preserves that HBG axis, that hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. That's the architecture of your entire endocrine system. So your luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormones, testicular volume. I know you're like, I don't care about that, but it actually is really important. These are all your body's own feedback loops, and it all stays intact. It's not just a hormone optimization strategy. It's more of a longevity strategy. And what we see in men is once we've stimulated that, your testosterone levels can be up in the 800-900 nanograms per deciliter. We actually had a client, it went all the way up to 1,400 just on enclomiphene, and so we have them do it 12.5 milligrams every other day now. Some of you, once you get healthier, you don't need anything for your testosterone. In fact, I've shared this on the channel, but in one of the studies, they took men, they all had low testosterone, and they had them go cut wood and just go out into sleep and camp for 2 weeks, tested their testosterone before they went and cut wood and did physical labor with their hands, spent time with other men. And then they came back a couple weeks later, and the average increase in testosterone was 100%. So they went from 200 to 400, 400 to 800. Some cases it tripled. And so while SERM is not getting you out in the woods, I think that would be very beneficial for all of us. But nice thing that you have with enclomiphene is you have this capability of turning on your testosterone. Whether you're somebody who's 20 years old or 80 years old, this can be a really good strategy for you. But the way you can find out if this is right for you, go to agelessfuture.com. Every single client starts with pre-intro session, conversation around where you want your health to go. If you're a right fit for one of our programs, then we'll run comprehensive blood labs on you. So more interested in enclomiphene and other videos, go to what time of day should I take enclomiphene? I provided a link below. See you in the next video.